All right, Seaver, man, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Man, I am stoked. Obviously got to see you a couple weeks ago in Nashville. Been excited ever since I've seen you move in the transfer portal. But we're going to talk all things Wake Forest later. We're going to break the ice first. Talking to the last few guests when the actual World Series and the MLB playoffs were going on, all of them were talking about how exciting it was. So I ask you, did you get a chance to watch and did it meet your expectations as far as excitement?
Yeah, I watched a little bit. As a Braves fan, I was glad the Phillies didn't make it, so I didn't really care who won. But as an Excel guy, I want to see Evan Carter do well, so I was glad to see the Rangers win. But yeah, it was fun to watch.
I mean, that's been the common theme. There's a lot of you guys coming down from the South and the Southeast that were Braves fans, and so a lot of people weren't too happy. And us, as Austin Riley being a two-time guest of the show, and he played at the high school right down the street. That's who I was rooting for with the Cardinals being out. So I think all of us were. And then what was crazy is after you said you were rooting against the Phillies, but after the way they did the Braves, the way they did, there's no way you didn't think they were winning, right?
Oh no, I thought they were winning,
Yeah, I
but
mean that was odd. There and then when
yeah,
the Diamondbacks beat them, I was like, for real. So,
yeah,
but Tech was crazy. As Steve, you ain't old like us. We both thought Texas had won a World Series before. We didn't know they ain't never won one.
yeah. They were in it like super a while ago with like the Phillies. I thought like
But
2008.
clearly didn't get it done.
Uh,
So we got this talk show right here. We got you on as the guest. But let me ask you, man. You had your own show. You can have anybody. Doesn't even have to be an athlete. Can be a celebrity. Who you want on your show?
that's a tough one. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, rest in peace, but I'll say Kobe.
Daniel.
Popular. It's
That
popular.
is, I'm telling you, that is the, and it's gonna probably be the next, or not the next answer, but two questions from now. Answer. All right, celebrity crush growing up. Don't lie to us either.
Growing up, uh, Anna Kendrick from Pitch Perfect.
Okay, solid, solid.
Yeah,
It's a new one too. I like it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna assume this next question. Being you're an athlete, there's always that person that inspires. You just said Kobe would come on your show. So is Kobe your favorite athlete of all time?
You know what? Like, I don't really have a favorite athlete of all time, to be honest. Like, I'm like a big college football fan, so like that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of my realm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would say right now my favorite athlete of all time is Stetson Bennett. Well, I'll go with that. Go with that.
Dude, you may be the one and only guest that
Says
will
no
ever
one.
say that.
I'll go with that.
Wow, that's throwing me off, man. It's
I like new answers. I hate repeated answers. He
Yeah,
gave us
we're
two
kind of
new
similar
ones.
a little bit. So,
uh, I'll go with it. I'm gonna give you the rest of the episode to rethink that, but no, I kid, man. So let's get into it. Tell me a little bit where you're from, man. What hometown you from? What are you claiming?
I'm from Athens, Georgia.
Athens, Athens. No
The
wonder it's
Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett. I
Yep.
mean, I feel like all the little tykes around Athens, they're growing up dreaming of being in college until they're 32. Now, obviously Athens, there's big time sports and especially as of late with Georgia. Growing up in Athens, were you a big Georgia fan?
Yeah, I'm a big Georgia football fan, but that's probably about it. Like they haven't been good in basketball ever. I used to grow up being a baseball fan, but like now I'm just college baseball fan, I would say. So, but yeah, I'm a big Georgia football fan, 100%.
So I mean that's where Stetson Bennett comes in. What do you make of this is kind of off topic. What do you make of the Georgia football team this year? I mean, there's when you look at it on the surface, and some games they don't look as dominant. As of late, they've looked pretty dominant, but are they just like bored and they're just kind of playing with people and they're kind of like throwing the doubt in people's minds? What's your
I
take
think
on it?
I think they're just underrated in underrated. I think they're not giving as much credit as they're supposed to. Like we're undefeated and we're two-time national champs and we're like ranked second or third. Like it's fine. We've been there before, but I think, as soon like Missouri, we just find ways to win the game. Carson Beck is really good and really underrated. So
Well, Jim has heard me say this on numerous occasions. You're the champ until somebody beats you.
yeah.
And in my eyes, it don't matter if they win by 100 or win by 1. If they're winning, they're still the champs in my book, and somebody's gonna have to prove to me that they're not, and that hasn't happened yet. So,
So
the one thing, we do know, since we do a lot of baseball, is that Georgia has the most elite travel ball. When did you start playing baseball, and who did you play for?
yeah, I played baseball. I played like T-ball when I was 4, I would say. Um, Quit Little League when I was like 9. Started playing travel ball. So the main team I played with was Team Elite growing up. I played with Brady House. I played with Ryan Spikes a little bit. So I played with those guys. Then I actually got cut from that team. And then I played with a little local team, and then I finished my travel ball seasons with US Elite. So that was kind of my road.
The U.S. Elite. Tell me some guys that you played with.
Casey Smith goes to JMU. Spencer Hamlin goes to Western Carolina. I mean, it wasn't really a you know, big time squad, but that was just kind of where I played.
I mean, it's so hard. I feel like as time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to have just a travel ball team that's just full of studs like you used to have, just because there's so many.
Yeah,
And even organizations have multiple, you know, different teams. So,
But we talk
uh,
about all the time on here, Seaver, like some of the Mississippi guys that we got are stud during the summer, they still go to Georgia to play. Like, I
yeah,
mean, it's universally the place to go in the United States if you want to play summer ball.
yeah,
yep,
for sure. I mean, even when I was coaching, um, I spent 3 weeks every summer in East Cobb. It was just because it was the place you go if you wanted to play top notch travel. And over the 3 week span, man, you could play 30 different teams of all calibers, and all of them were really, really good.
yeah,
And so, I would say my teams grew more by that experience than they did probably in their entire, high school seasons, or even in their fall or any other season for that matter. But I bring that up to talk to you about high school. What high school did you attend?
I went to Athens Christian School, a small single A private school in Georgia. Yeah,
So when you're at Athens Christian School, you mentioned it yourself, small school.
yeah,
Um, you know, was it hard to get colleges to notice you? Because obviously, I mean, you're where you're at because you're an elite level talent. But playing for a small school, do you have to go above and beyond to get colleges to notice you? What was your process, and then who started, getting on your radar?
yeah. So I was about 5'3", 135 pounds as a freshman. Started every game on varsity. Uh, didn't get any looks. And then COVID happened. I think COVID is what's kind of put me in the position where I was. My head coach Alan Osborne actually coached at Wingate and coached under Jeff Gregory. Um, so Wingate was my only offer out of high school, which is crazy. Um, I went to Jupiter my senior fall, played down there, got nothing from there, and I was like, I'm just gonna have a fun senior year and play it out. I'm just gonna go play at Wingate. Ended up hitting like 505, led the state in RBIs,
Hold on,
set
man.
our
I'm gonna spit those stats out in a minute, but I gotta say something real quick. I laugh like that, not to laugh at you. I've complained so many times to athletes on this show, Seaver, about how I like didn't hit my growth spurt until after high school in sports. And I used to complain, and then I hear you say 5'3", 135, and like I got nowhere to complain because I still had like 5'9", 155.
Yeah, no, I was I could like tuck my number into my pants and stuff. It was crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever heard anybody say that. That's funny.
Yeah.
So obviously, I was going to ask why Wingate, but obviously you answered that. They were the only school.
Yep.
Um, were you disappointed? Were you elated? What was the emotion when Wingate is coming to you and they're like, "Hey, Seaver, you're the guy that we want"?
Yeah. I just knew at that point like I could play baseball for 4 more years. So that was just kind of where my head was at. Just getting the opportunity to go play, get away from, home for a little bit and, experience the new side of life. Yeah, I was just super thankful and super excited to go up there.
Was the thought to move on, or were you there and you're committed to 4 years and you're just like, I'm happy to be here, whatever happens, happens, and then kinda you show out and, as a freshman, you hit 381, 449, you slash 381, 449, 640. Then you came back as a sophomore, um, 411, 457, 699. You also had an MVP performance in the Valley Baseball League, um, while swinging a wood bat for Harrisonburg. Like, was it those kind of stats and those kind of accolades that you obtained while you were there where you go, man, I think I could ratchet my game up and play at another level?
Yeah. Getting on campus, I was ready for 4 years. I was ready to, figure out what my major was going to be, like all this, normal college student stuff. And then I think that fall, just facing all our arms, all our, draft guys, Brody McCullough, Mitch Ferris, all those guys. I kind of was like, all right, I belong. Maybe I can play this year, like be one of the only freshmen that can play. And then, I finally broke through the starting lineup after we played our rival Newberry, and just kind of never looked back from there. Went up to Harrisonburg, and then when I won MVP up there, I was like, all right, like that's when all the people were telling me to hit the portal, like all this and that. And then I was like, well, I haven't really proved anything to myself. I played half a season in Division II. Like, you know what? Let's run it back, and went back. And I think that fall, the portal kind of started creeping in my mind just a little bit. But I obviously didn't tell anybody that I wanted to be completely committed to my team at Wingate. And then, we lost to Lincoln Memorial in our conference tournament. And I just kind of sat at the field for, an extra hour after the game, just sitting there because I didn't really know what I was going to do. And then, let Coach G know, and he was awesome. He asked me, who do you want me to call? So, it was awesome. I'm still talking.
Everybody,
But
everybody,
you
just
know
pick
what,
up the
Daniel?
phone and start calling.
Daniel,
Yeah.
you know what I appreciate though, man, because as a young man, his professionalism, right? He said he was committed to Wingate. He want to finish that out because, whether baseball, football, or anything other between, you see these cats as soon as things start going wrong, they just go ahead and sit out or put their name in the portal, make it known, just make the whole locker room vibe, go away. He kept it professional. He had a commitment. He stuck it out.
Yeah, when you leave a place, I think, it's said by others, you always want to leave it better than when you got there. And when you can show out and you can do your thing, obviously you're leaving it, better than when you came in. But Seaver, you're the second Division II baseball star that we've had on the show. I myself have coached at the University of Tampa, which is a Division II program. Um, let's talk about playing at the D2 level and the level of competition. Obviously, you have a firsthand, look of, more recent than me, but Division II is good baseball, right?
Oh, 100%. I think, Friday night is, you're gonna face an arm you could see in a Division I level, like no question. Like Mitch Ferris, our number one, just got drafted, stuff like that. Now I think the difference is I think there's hitters. Everybody has a hitter. Like, the lineups are not as drastic as you may think. But I think the arms is definitely the biggest difference between D2 and D1. You're gonna have, two or three guys, but there's gonna be a pretty big drop off in the staff. But yeah, it's really good baseball. We kind of got to grind a little bit, playing 2-3 midweeks a week, and then you got a Friday night game, and you play two Saturday. That's 9 and a 7, so it's a lot different.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's a little bit different is it's just a grind. Like it's a lot of travel, like day game travels there and back. It's a lot of quick turnarounds. It's a lot of midweek and stacking them in, and it's maybe a little bit different now, but it is a grind. And like I tip my hat and I can appreciate, the guys that go through the D2 level and even the JUCO level at that, because that grind is so, like, your nose is to the ground and you're grinding every single day. And don't get me wrong, at the Division I level, it's the same. But obviously there's a little bit different of a feeling of trying to accomplish and show and like just, achieve something at that D2 level that's hard to put into words when you're not there.
My
Uh,
question for you, Seaver, on that note, we've had so many guests say that they're grateful that they either went D2, D3, JUCO because they personally believe at the time in which they committed to college, they weren't ready for D1. Do you feel like you were kind of there?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like when going through the portal process, I couldn't imagine, you know, talking to these schools as an 18-year-old coming out of high school. My process was easy, and kind of had a personal connection with the coach up there, and it was a little talk here and there, and that was the only guy I really talked to. And when I went in the portal, I was on the phone from 2 p.m. to like 12:30 the first night. And I was, I kind of had a plan going into it, so I felt a little bit more versed in the aspect just because I was older. But yeah, I honestly couldn't even fathom being at a D1 program as an 18-year-old, to be honest.
well, let's go there. Obviously, 2 springs and a summer, and you absolutely kill it. And then you said it yourself. You weren't sure what you were going to do, but then you went to your coach. You said, "Hey, I want to entertain the portal." Um, at that point, to me, I'm thinking, all right, it's you on the phone nonstop, one call after the other. And Jim, who did we talk to that was telling us it was Gavin Casas
Right.
from South Carolina? He transferred from Vanderbilt, and he's like, I literally was on the phone all day long when my name hit the portal. So, what was your experience when you hit the portal? Was it calls consistently all day long, or was it, you knew the 3 or 4 schools that you really wanted to go to, and that's what you put your focus on?
Yeah, going into the portal, to be honest, I had no clue what to expect. I didn't. The first school that hit me was a Division II school again. I knew that's not kind of what I wanted to do, but and then the next two are Virginia Tech and LSU, and I was like, all right, like let's get down to the drawing board. Like, what do I want to do? And I kind of made it like a little bit of kind of what I wanted, and I kind of made up my mind. I wanted to stay in North Carolina, just because that was kind of where I called home for 2 years, and kind of narrowed it down pretty quick. My visits were Georgia, Clemson, South Carolina, NC State, Carolina, Wake. I think that was it. I think I only went on 6. Um, but yeah,
Just those 6. No big
Daniel,
deal.
Daniel, he just hurt my feelings because I didn't know, for as much information as I know, I didn't know LSU was one. And no offense to Michael Braswell, give me Seaver King. I'm a little disappointed in you, Seaver, and
yeah,
I'm a weight guy behind LSU, but LSU is my number one. Oh man, that hurts.
yeah. It's just a long way from home, man. Just a long way from
But
home.
man, do you know how awesome Baton Rouge is, man? You put
I
on
got
you
no
if
clue.
you want to put on that weight, hey, we got the food for it.
You said you ain't been in Winston-Salem enough.
Yeah.
That's what
I
he
did,
said.
and I'm gonna tell you because Seaver can't do this yet. He ain't 21, but I'm gonna tell you right now, them local brews on tap and the couch, woo, man, I'm telling you. But let's get into it. Before we get into Winston Salem, we got to talk about wearing the red, white, and blue. That came first. We've had a lot of guests over the last 3 seasons who've talked about that opportunity. And so for you, man, what did it mean to play with the best dudes in the country and represent our country?
Yeah. I was on the short list for about a couple months. And then I went 9 for 10 on the Cape. And then 2 days later I got a call invite me to USA. And my flight was Friday and I got the call on Wednesday. So I packed for 3 days and I was like, you know what? Like, they're probably not, looking at me. They just need an ad, like whatever.
What
Um
do you pack?
yeah,
Like
I think I
you
packed.
know, I feel like it's just you go through all 5 of your drawers and you take out 2 things from every drawer and you go, all right, got my shoes, got what I'm wearing right now. I'm good.
Just don't
Yeah,
forget your glove. You'll be all right.
yeah, I think I had my gloves, my cleats, and then clothes. I think it was all I brought, to be honest. Like just went down there. And then the first day I kind of went out there and everybody's like, "What school you go to?" I'm like, I went to Wingate. I'm in the portal right now." Like blah blah blah. Or I guess I was already committed, but I was kind of explaining my situation, and they're like, "Oh, they like whatever." And then I got on the field and I was like, "All right, this is." It's kind of get a little starstruck a little bit seeing Cags and whoever else. And then just got locked in right away and just kind of started playing my game. Like we say here, you're just playing the game. You're not playing anybody else. You're playing the game. So yeah. And then
And
making
we talk about like the survivor aspect of life, but Could you imagine going into that environment? Like, are you social with people, or are you there about business, or is it kind of a mixture of both? Like, you don't want to be too outgoing, but you don't want to be the alpha, or maybe you do want to be the alpha. Like, there's so many different ways you could handle that situation. So it's crazy to me. You get all that talent in one room, and
But you
how it
know,
all
Daniel, we
yeah.
got we got guys who are even multi-time guests. You know, like Beams and Hagen Smiths of the world. I know the kind of guys they are. They're not the kind of guys that would treat Seaver as if he's lesser. They'd welcome him in. If they didn't, I'd be really surprised, Seaver, if those guys didn't talk to you right out the gate. I know you're not a pitcher, obviously, but a lot of good dudes from Team USA, and I couldn't imagine. And I get what you're saying about starstruck, but I also see the confidence just from coming and watching you in Nashville, and I know that you're not, you know, you may be starstruck, but you ain't scared to play with them cats. I can guarantee that.
No, Beamer's my guy actually. Beamer and Simo. I spent the most time with them actually. So yeah. But yeah, I think I mean, it literally was probably just like seeing them for the first time, and as soon as I stepped on the field, I was like, all right, like we're just playing baseball. So, but yeah, I think that summer, just being in Cary for 3 weeks was just awesome. Like, I couldn't living in a hotel for 3 weeks. You think would be horrible, which it partly was. But just having something to do with the experience was something I'll truly forget. The 4th of July was probably the most fun game I've ever played in my life. So
Those photos that they got from the photographer, Daniel, I sent you the one that had I think it was Beam, but yeah, the photographer got with all of you guys, and it had a lot of y'all from behind with the names on the jerseys and the lights. Oh, it was just awesome.
yeah,
How many bags of Chinook seeds did you have?
a lot, a lot. I was a big was it the cinnamon sugar one? Those are my favorite.
Yeah, finally
Nice.
somebody's on my squad. I've actually already been told when this episode's over, Daniel, by the owner to get his address so he can get a couple cases sent to him.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Massey actually brought a case over, and I stole a couple off of him the other day. So
Yeah, I set him up as an ambassador. I actually tried to already put you out there. That was why the two cases thing came up. I was like, Wake's a big deal, man. You need to have more than one ambassador for Wake. And he was like, well, we'll see how Massey does. I'm just saying. I was like, we got Kurtz, we got King. I was like, we got 7 IOTB guests because we try to hook them up. We done got over 30 guys, but yeah, I already threw your name in the thing. But he said, I'll tell you what I will do. And I'll tell him cinnamon toast. I'll make sure one of the cases is full of that. But I'm usually the only one that likes that one.
oh, those are fire.
But so
Sweet too. So
yeah. The most common popular one is the parm and pepper. All the LSU dudes be staying on that. But your summer. So you talk about, so obviously Wingate ends, you go to the Cape, then you go with Team USA, then you come back to the Cape. With the Harwich Mariners, where you slash 424, 479, 542, good for a 1.021 OPS. I mean, you didn't slow down from the second that you were killing it at Wingate all the way through the summer. And so the question I have, talking about your development, talking about your consistency, what was it for you that was able to maintain success, on the plate, at the plate like that?
yeah, honestly, I really couldn't tell you an answer. I think I just go out there and play. Like, now stepping at Wake, I kind of have a plan, a little bit more of what I want to do in the box. But before then, it was like, if he throws a fastball, I'm gonna hit it, and if I see spin out of the hand, I'm gonna hit it. Like, it wasn't anything. Like, my approach was super raw, like see ball, hit ball. You could do it.
Very cavemanish.
I mean, I literally with 2 strikes would swing at anything because I knew I could hit it. Like, it didn't matter to me. So yeah, that's something I'm working on now with the walks and stuff. Just kind of sitting on pitches, stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't really have an approach, I would say.
So here's what's funny, Daniel. As I'm fixing to ask him why Wake Forest, I can't get in trouble because I'm not a booster. I'm not doing anything illegal. But I was texting Nick Kurtz after Omaha when we were kicking it, and I was like, "Bro, just go on and transfer over to LSU. We got a lot of bats leaving." And he was like, "I'm gonna stay here and stick it out. We got some things going." And then obviously Burns comes over, you come over, and I'm like, "Okay, I see what y'all got going, Nick. Y'all got plans." Now y'all gonna take down my boys in a rematch probably in Omaha. So, ultimately, why did you choose Wake Forest?
Yeah. I kind of knew that's where I wanted to go after I, nailed down my visits, just by talking to Billy and Moose and Walt, just by talking to him on the phone. It really felt like it wasn't. Um, I was just talking to one of my boys. Like we literally would just sit there and talk. Like almost every day at the gym, Moose would call me and just like, "What are you doing? What's up?" And so I kind of felt really comfortable with the staff. And then I went on my visit and meeting Brock and Nick and all those guys and just seeing the culture aspect of what goes on at Wake Forest and how much fun they have. That's something I really missed out when he was having fun. I had fun, but like there was times, where I wasn't doing the best and I just wasn't having fun. But no matter what, they won and losing, they're, having fun. And that was one of my main things. Is I just wanted to go to the place where I can have the most fun. In North Carolina, number one seed last year, on the come up, Kurtz, Burns, all those guys. So it was honestly a no brainer as soon as I stepped on campus.
Yeah, and the first name you brought out there was Brock. We had him on before the season last year, and I probably talked to him honestly more than any guest we've ever had on the show. That's my boy. We talk a shoe game, everything on the regular, and man, he was like, "You got to come on out to Winston-Salem." And I'm like, because I'm traveling all over the South, covering SEC, and I was like, you know what? I told Daniel, I was like, man, I'm gonna go check out the couch. I'm gonna go out there, and man, no regrets. Went out there and watched some Notre Dame. Seen how nice of a field. It's a little chilly. I should have waited a little bit later into the season. Obviously, I mentioned the local brews, but the fans and everything, and then they were just teeing off, man. And I was like, man, this team's legit, and it worked out because me and Daniel, and we took a lot of flack. He had y'all number one. I had y'all number three, and people told us we lost our mind. And then obviously you see where they ended up. And I was in Omaha, and man, I told them boys like afterward, y'all were easily the second best team. And then staying there and watching LSU versus Florida, you seen how that went. LSU versus Wake was the championship, and so to see them reload and you're a part of that. And so obviously we've been talking about. I go to Nashville and I watch, and you don't disappoint. The first thing I want to point out, because everybody's talking about you coming in as a hitter, but you and Hawk patrol in the middle infield. I mean, y'all were turning double play after double play, making it look easy, which man, Hawk, he had a couple plays that were into, solo plays. Hey, that man. And then next thing you know, I look out, you out in center field. Like, and so I'm like, all right, there's nothing this cat can't do because you were making it easy, tracking down balls. So between that, getting on base 5 times, clearly you're not intimidated by coming to an SEC opponent in Vandy and, being on that Wake Forest lineup, batting behind Kurt. So just talk to me about, that Nashville experience and just how well you did.
Yeah. So I actually came into Wake and kind of steadled at second base. Me and Hawk were over there. And Hawk took my job straight up, like took it. And Merrick Houston's the best shortstop in the country. I don't want to hear it, period. Merrick Houston is the shortstop. Like I like to say, like when I was coming in, Wake was the only place that told me I wouldn't play short. And I was like, all right, like I'll believe when I see it. And I got there the first day, I was like, yeah, I'm not playing there. So I'm at second and I eat with Coach Walt one week and he goes, we're gonna throw you on center. I was like, all right, I haven't played outfield since I was 12, but let's do it. Went out there, I still take all my reps in the infield and I just play outfield kind of right now. But yeah, so he told me, yeah, you're going to play center starting off and then Merrick's nursing injury. So you're going to go play short whenever he's done. And then going in there and seeing Grayson Carter off the rip. That was probably, I got a little jumpy in my first AB just a little bit, but as soon as I got to 2 strikes, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like I'm battling. Like this is what I came here for. I got out, but it is what it is. And then, came up bases loaded. They walked Kurtz and, sitting on heater and got it and hammered it. But playing with our guys is so much fun. Like in the dugout and all that stuff is just, you couldn't ask for a more fun experience. And, Vandy was my dream school growing up. So actually getting to play there was awesome. But, that was an awesome experience.
Well, first key word is you said hammered. Daniel, none of his hits were like rinky dink bloopers. He was hammering them. So there's that. And then I'm also glad that you didn't go to Vandy because we don't like Vandy around here. And that, when I'm there, I sent Daniel the pictures. We talked about it. Man, like that baseball field is like up underneath the football stadium, touching the basketball gym. Like and then it only holds like 2,000 people. I know. I just can't with Vandy. They need better facilities. I don't care if they got titles.
This is what it sounds like when you go to Vanderbilt. Yes, Coach
You're a
Borneo,
robot.
I will do what you say to do.
Exactly. But clearly, like you said, you may have been intimidated at the beginning in the box, but you went out there and killed it. And the fact that you can play anywhere, you fit perfect into you're every coach's dream if that's the case, because your willingness to play anywhere and then you play it at an exceptional level. So what a tool to have. So since you've been there, what players, were the first ones to welcome you in, and who have you grown the most with? I know the weight culture, so you could probably say everybody. So you could just drop me a couple names, and who were the first ones, and who have you grown closest to?
Yeah, I think me and Kurtz probably got pretty close, but I think we got like 23 new guys. So there's not like I'm gonna say everybody, but Adam Tellier, Jeter Paleto, I can name Massey, Chris Katz, all these guys. Like I think it's we're at the field all the time and just kicking it and getting to know each other. And I think we kind of have a retreat at the beginning of the year, and we're kind of forced to get to know people we wouldn't maybe get to know. So I think that's kind of what got me acclimated to the team right away, was going on that retreat and just getting to know everybody. So yeah, I would say everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. And Massey's my dog. I love it. So when I said that Wake was going to have the best pitching staff in the country, everybody was like, okay, so they got Hartle, they got Burns, who else they got? And I'm like, bro, y'all clearly have not watched Michael Massey pitch. And I was like, you can go ahead and write them up for the best starting rotation. And y'all got depth too. And so with that, we talked with Mike on his show about the pitching, but talk to me about the hitters. Obviously you have probably the biggest and hardest role on the team, right? Protecting Nick Kurtz. His OBP last year, I don't have it in front of me. Me and Daniel were talking before the show. He was pushing 600 if he wasn't over 600. He's not afraid to walk. He had like 62 walks on top of all those bombs. They're probably going to try to avoid him. So it's going to be on you to protect him. So, but outside of yourself, man, who are the bats in the lineup? Obviously, this is a question again. You could name your whole team, I'm sure, but give me one or two guys that you expect to have huge years.
Yeah. Number one, leading off, Merrick Houston. He's gonna be legit this year. Like, like I said, the best shortstop in the country, I believe, in my personal opinion. And then I think it's the return of Jake Reinish. I think he's gonna be a really good guy. Hitting behind me too. So I think, 1 through 7 is, you miss a pitch, it's gonna go over the wall. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the caption on that home run, Rhino's Revenge. That was nice.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I said, your Batman cards, just so you know, that is my golden spikes. I always do everything early. I pick Nick for the golden spikes now. And I gotta tell you this, if you haven't seen me brag about it, I'm not shy about being arrogant about this. Since we started this show in 2020, Seaver, I have came on here and picked a team to win every year preseason after the fall. I picked Mississippi State. I picked Ole Miss. I picked LSU. I have made it known all over Twitter. I have Wake Forest. And to double down on that, to make you just feel a little bit more confident, whatever team we had the most guests on in that calendar year was that same team. Well, we've had like 80 of you boys on, and it's going to be the most that we had this year. So all y'all got to do is do your part. I'm going to be there come March to watch y'all play Duke. Hopefully, y'all hammer them boys. But mainly where I want to see y'all, just like I did last year, I want to see y'all in Omaha because, like I said, in a perfect world, I want to see the rematch between y'all and my LSU dudes, but in the championship game, because coming into this year, I think y'all two in Arkansas are the most complete team. So man, best of luck to you this year. Like I said, I'll be out there in March, hopefully Omaha, but I got you guys winning all. I'm gonna do what I didn't do last year. He was so mad at me. I was like, but we did. Hey, they didn't win, so we okay. I said, hey, I'm gonna go place a bet for us.
It don't matter.
At the casino on Wake Forest, and y'all were getting some seriously good odds, and he was like, okay. And then as y'all made it to Omaha, we're ranked number 1. He was like, you got that bet in, right? And I was like, man, actually, no, I never got around to doing it.
Dude never told me. So Omaha, when y'all, I'm like, really?
Got a 1 in 8 shot of winning $4,000 on like $20.
and see, like me, like I'm feeling it hard because you guys play this awesome game against LSU and you come up short, but he's not sweating it because he's an LSU fan.
Right. House money, man.
I'm telling you, like he was going to hedge his bets, is what I think.
Well, that's why I want them in the championship this year, because I get one of two things, Daniel. There's nothing I like more than being right, but if I'm not going to be right, my team's going to win it. So let's just get it done.
Well, there you go. All right, Seaver, we've reached the time of the episode where we're going to play a game. You ready to play?
Do it.
It's easy, man. It's called This or That. It's very simple. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Don't say both. Don't say neither, and you'll be good to go, man. Just be decisive.
All right.
All right. This or That's brought to you by Chinook Seedery. You've had the seeds. Cinnamon Toast is your favorite. Obviously, with us, I have been blessed over the past couple of weeks to get a few dozens. So I have all the flavors. I've yet to try them all. I've been doing blind testing on the show. So before we hop into this or that, I'm going to do a blind test.
And while you're doing a blind test, Daniel, I want to tell you, my boy Heath from the left field lines of Mississippi State said, for those who are listening who like the seeds, he has tried a mixture of jalapeno ranch and smokehouse barbecue, and it is fire.
That sounds good. That sounds fire.
Tonight is lemon pepper. So I will preface this by saying I'm going to try my best not to be biased. And the reason I say that is I'm not a big lemon pepper fan. I don't really like lemon pepper, but I like the Parmesan pepper. I thought that was pretty good. So I'm hoping that lemon pepper, will wake me up a little bit. So I do 3 seeds. Reason why is I want to get the size, I want to get the flavor, and I want to get this actual taste of the seed. So they all go in. All right, initial reaction is I can get the pepper. Not a lot of lemon, which I like, and I think that's why I don't like lemon pepper stuff, because I'm not a big lemon person. After about 30 seconds, still got good flavor. The crack, easy to crack, big seed.
The drama. I need the score, Daniel. I need
All right.
the score.
Here's the score. Taking bias out of it. This is a flat 7, and I'll tell you why. First thing, it's not overpowering with lemon. It's not overpowering with pepper. I get the pepper and not the lemon, which is good. It's goes down a little bit from the others because I don't taste the lemon, which, like I said, that's good for me. But if you're a lemon pepper person, you probably want that lemon. The flavor's still there after another minute. The taste of the seed is great. I mean, solid 7. I don't dislike it at all. So, this is a collabo with Bobby Witt Jr. He's on the bag. Look at that guy.
That dude's an absolute baller. I'm gonna get all IOTB guests on these bags here soon.
Let's
my
go.
question for you, Daniel, before you play this game, talk to me. Seaver's not gonna get it. There's the Memphis flag, there's the Memphis chain. He probably don't know what the hell Piggly Wiggly is, but man, that's our other sponsor. Tell him about that shirt.
Look at this. Let me tell you something. This is Memphis City Design, and Piggly Wiggly is a grocery store chain that was the place that you went as a kid. Like, that was the only grocery store. You would go there, you would see all your neighbors, all your friends. It was a great place. It just, everyone knows Piggly Wiggly. So Memphis City Design has created the Piggly Wiggly logo that looks like the Memphis Grizzly, and they call it Grizzly Wiggly. So shout out to Memphis City Design hooking me up with the Grizzly Wiggly shirt. If you want your own Grizzly Wiggly shirt, if you want your Christopher Walken in Memphis shirt,
whoop that trick,
you want GTG Main shirt, go to Memphis City Design, check out the website, and get the latest and greatest. I'm getting the Christopher Walken in Memphis shirt. I've already decided, Jim. I'm going for it. I'm doing it.
All right.
The blend, it's not straight cotton. It's a cotton blend. It's got a little polyester in it. It hugs you in the right places, around the biceps, around the shoulders. It makes you feel good. It's just soft, and people want to get cuddly with you in these things. So
hey, I know we're making Seaver wait forever, but Brandon just messaged me and told gave me a list that once you've went through every individual one, he's got mixed combinations for you to go across the board.
I'm ready for that. I can't wait.
But let's get into this game. My man's got to play. We got to see what
All right,
happens.
let's go. This or that. Out the gate. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
What's your favorite game? Is it Fortnite?
I'm a big Madden guy, actually.
Ooh, Madden. There you go, Jim.
Let's go. I
Madden.
don't even like the Cowboys, but I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
I'd like to see. We talked about this before, Seaver, is doing a Madden tournament where Jim gets to play the guests who say that Madden's their favorite game, just so I can really see how good Jim
Nah,
says he is.
I'm 21 skunking him. I'm a sweat. Like
Hmm.
I'm like that.
No, man, nobody plays better with the middle linebacker in the world. Look, let me tell you something, Seaver. When I was in the military, I got there. I got to my duty station in Florida, and they said, "Do you play Madden?" And I said, "Yeah." Anyway, got on there. They're like, "You get to try Bird first." And I played Bird. He beat me 49-0. They said, "You don't play Madden." Then I found out Madden was a way of life there. I mean, we set in depth charts. We calling audibles at the line. Everything gets crazy. I'm averaging 3 to 4 user picks a game with everybody I play. You just better be ready. Like, if you're gonna call me out, it's gonna happen.
All right.
All right, bet Daniel, it's gonna happen at some point.
Let's go. I'm here for it. I like seeing the Cowboys beat anybody. So, all right, breakfast for breakfast or breakfast for dinner?
Breakfast for breakfast.
Okay, what is your favorite breakfast item? What is the one staple item that's in every breakfast?
It's either bacon or French toast.
Ooh, French toast.
He won me back over. Those are probably my top two.
Are you a French toast guy with the syrup, the powdered sugar, whipped cream, strawberries, or are you just straight basic powdered sugar syrup?
I'm a big syrup guy. I'm a picky eater. So no strawberries, but everything else I'll do that.
All right, all right. If you were left on an island and you could be with your worst enemy or you could be by yourself, which would you choose?
I'm gonna choose my enemy.
Man, this is like this baffles me that people are like, I want to be with my enemy.
Being
There's no
alone
way.
is terrible, and your chance of survival with another individual is just better, Daniel. Seaver's
And
Your
smart.
enemy?
Yeah, but then you're occupied because then you're just bickering back and forth each other all day. Like,
Look, Seaver, let me tell you something. Jim couldn't be with his enemy
because they get drowned in the
they
ocean.
would
Well, that's
want
different.
to kill this guy. They would literally want to kill this guy every day.
yeah,
Bro, folks have wanted to kill me since we were 15. They ain't done it yet, Daniel. Neither of them folks in Iraq.
Well, they haven't been invited to a secluded island with you either. So there's that. All right, Seaver, if your team played the game of Survivor, could you outlast all of your teammates?
nah.
No?
Who would you pick? Yeah.
Yeah, who do you think, like, obviously, do you know the premise of Survivor? Have you watched the show? You know the idea? All right. You're on an island. Your team's on an island. Who would be the lone survivor? Now remember, it's not about being the best at everything. It's about outsmarting people, outwitting people, outplaying people. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. So when you factor all those things, who is the guy that comes to mind?
Either I got two. Either Will Ray or Tate Ballestero.
I was gonna. Oh, if you didn't say it, I was gonna say Tate.
Yeah. One of those.
Why them?
Tate's just, he's
social
one of the
game.
However, he's just witty. He just I've never funny guy. It just knows a lot. I don't know.
Daniel, he would have the social game unlocked, but he would also be a great competitor. I agree with his choice.
And then Will Ray, he's just a man with words. Like, he's an English major. I don't know how he does it, but we had to take some campers on a tour the other day, and he just tore it up. So I'll say Will Ray, and he's super competitive too. So,
all right. Would you rather own a massive yacht or a private jet?
Private jet.
Yeah, you can go anywhere, right? You don't have to worry about water. You can get there fast. That's my pick. All right. Last question before we let you bounce. Would you rather be the first pick in the draft, or would you rather win a national championship? And let me preface this by saying the number one pick in last year's draft was about $10 million. They're about $10 million richer now. So what would you pick? The first pick in the draft or a national championship?
I mean, and I think it's a no-brainer. I don't even. I'll be a national championship easy.
Oh,
Mm.
goodness.
I go
Another liar on this show.
All right, Seaver. Let me break it down to you another way. All right. I have a suitcase, and it's got 10 million of crispy $100 bills. And I bring it and I say, Seaver, open it up, and I make it all like emotional and dramatic. And I say, and like when I open this case, it's like the light comes on, and it's just, ah. I say, Seaver, this is all yours. Or I slide this little banner that says national championship, and I slide a little ring over there, and I say, or you can have this.
Right, but the money can go away. Then you're always going to be a national champion.
No, watch this. Daniel, I will give you 100,000 right now for that ring. Can I have it?
What address you want me to send it to?
Exactly. No, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Seaver. We reformed the question for our other show, Pros and Joes, with Paul Skeens 3 weeks ago, who was the number one pick. And we said, would you rather keep all the money you made this year or lose the memories that you made playing baseball this year? And without hesitation, he said, give me the memories of this national championship and my boys, and they can keep all the money. And so we had somebody who did get that contract still say the national championship.
Yeah.
We got wife and kids, so we just trying to get all the money we can stack. They run.
Yeah, my mentality and my mindset's totally different than when I won that ring originally. Now, like, I'm the fourth best person in my house, so like I got 3 other people that are counting on me. So like that money, I could go buy a lot of rings with 10 mil.
Look, I tell you what I did do today, boys, though. I went and took care of myself, and I went and got that brand new GT Premium, and I ain't asked permission.
That's just silly. This guy bought the same car, basically the same car.
No, my other one had 136,000 miles. I'm traveling the nation again with my son to watch all this baseball. I can't be racking up towards 200,000 miles. I got to start fresh.
Oh, okay. All right. Rolling like that. I like that. All right. Seaver, anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here, man?
I mean, go Deeks, baby.
Go Deeks. I like it. All right. How about this? I'll do you one better. If you want to know what Seaver's up to on a Monday night, maybe he's doing a podcast. Maybe it's Tuesday and it's Taco Tuesday. Who knows? Going over to IG at Seaver King, or like he said, go Deeks. You could check them out on IG at Wake Baseball. Seaver, dude, wish you nothing but the best. Lots of luck this season. Play well, be good, be healthy. And then when you guys win it all, you can come back on and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, me and Massey together, though.
Look at Massey. Attaboy.
Well, dang, he just gonna pick
there.
I mean, we got 7 that we gonna have to find a way to like get the Zoom conference video call like they have for like the work things, because I mean we got so many wait guests, we gotta fit them all in. The Burns one will be the most interesting.
Maybe we need to do a live episode when y'all win it all. We'll come there.
Mike, where my baseballs at, bro?
Huh?
Where my baseballs at?
Slack, he hasn't signed them yet.
You haven't given them to me.
Yeah, they're in my locker. I gotta get
Bro, come on, man. Hey, and make sure you take care of him with seeds, because I got him seeds coming back. He'll repay you.
Good deal.
Nah,
He had like all my cinnamon toast crunch ones.
Man, we got a guest. It's not even about Michael. We just got to see his hair. That's the real guest in this.
Is it straight?
I mean, look at that. You know, he had a hat on when he was on the show, and now it's full go tonight. Like, you're full sending tonight.
You don't have a bun.
Yeah, the bun.
That's not a good look. That's not a good.
Well, I'll let y'all be.
All right, we're getting out of here anyways. I want to thank you, Seaver, for joining us tonight. If you like Seaver's episode or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. Listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, loves. We'll take it all. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. We got the Pearson Power Hour. Jim, Pearson Power Hour, what are we talking about tomorrow?
Bro, we got Bill Pearson, the coach. We got Jacob Pearson, the Atlanta Brave. We got Josh Pearson, the LSU Tiger. And then we got John Pearson, the LSU baseball commit, who probably won't make it to LSU. This family, when we talk about genetics, Daniel, this shit ain't fair.
I mean, can they sprinkle a little bit this way?
A little bit.
Man. So that's tomorrow. And then Wednesday we'll be back. Who we got Wednesday?
Former Deacon, blah, 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 blah. I'm going mind blank. Why you put me on the spot
Adam
like that?
Adam
Yeah,
Cesare?
Adam Cesare and Grant Norris from Penn State. We have never done Penn State baseball.
Wow, we're going to the Northeast. Wow, that's amazing. We're all over the place. If you like being all over the place, obviously you know who to stay with. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.